Welcome to the Justin Ng Show, where real entrepreneurs and investors reveal how they turn humble beginnings into high-impact ventures. From bold moves to capital raises, we unpack what it really takes to build and scale greatness. Let's go check it out. Welcome everybody to the Justin Ng Show. Today's guest is Antonio Garcia, master negotiator, media strategist, and a guy who's been featured alongside Chris Voss on the Success Network channel. We dive deep into the mindset behind high-stakes influence, how to grow your brand without burnout, and what it takes to win in business today. If you want to negotiate better, build smarter, and leave a legacy, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome everybody to the Justin Ng Show. Today I have a great guest, Antonio Garcia. And let's start off with how you get from early days or humble beginnings to where you are right now.
Yeah. I'll give you a little bit of background on myself. Hey, everybody. So first off, just really awesome being here with you. And
Thank you.
we
Thank you.
met at a really cool networking event just about a month ago. So I'm CEO and founder of Kaizen Acceleration, which is a consulting group. I also co-found BPS, Best Practice Strategies, where we work with doctors all over the country and helping them scale, optimize their business, which is like a thing that like every coach says optimize, but it's just make their clinics run a little bit better. They work less.
Yeah.
Also co-founded a couple other companies and also associate produced a TV show that's out on Amazon Prime right now called 60 Day Hustle. We just got greenlit for season 2 a little while ago, and we just wrapped up, and
That's amazing.
we're really fired up over that. We have some great heavy hitters in that. So did that in the TV world, and just really fired up to kind of be here.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much again for that. So like how was that all started from the beginning? Like how did you get there and then now to where you are right now? Like
Oh yeah. Well, it starts with a dream. It starts with prayer, all that
yeah.
stuff. But so I was actually born and raised in Alaska. I was born and raised in Kodiak, Alaska. So if you ever Google Kodiak, Alaska, that's where you see all of the crazy hunting stories
Uh-huh.
that Joe Rogan talks about. Like they're usually around in Kodiak. And so I grew up around there. It's a big like fishing town, a lot of commercial fishermen, a lot of military people, people that are in oil, huge native community.
Yeah.
And so people there are like, not that they're rough and tough, but they're rough and tough.
Okay.
And so I grew up on an island where you really had to be accountable to other people. You really had to make sure that you are kind of community minded, that what you do impacts the next person.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a spot where it was an island, a small town. Like
Yeah.
it's naturally you just want to like, let me get out of here. Let me kind of move someplace else.
So, okay.
Yeah. So I moved over to California. I lived out there for a few years, and I really moved into the world of like sales and ultimately like TV distribution or
Okay.
film distribution.
Oh, okay.
And so I sunk my teeth into sales, and ultimately what ended up happening is like sales is kind of sandwiched between two departments. One is marketing. All of the marketing that happens ultimately is to drive eyeballs to get potentially sales.
Yes.
And then once the sales happen, then it's fulfillment and production and operations.
Yeah.
So I was kind of sandwiched in a lot of organizations and doing sales where I was really, really great at that, where I would communicate with the marketing department, fulfillment on like what's happening, because ultimately uh, those departments are dependent on you to ask like what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are these leads coming in? Are they any good? Talk to the marketing.
Yeah.
And also in the fulfillment, like if you sell something and the company isn't fulfilling on what you sold them on, then who's the person they reach out to? It's oftentimes a sales guy.
Right.
And that started just kind of trickling and trickling and trickling. I started learning and started connecting with different companies, different coaches, different groups, where then it became like a very holistic approach in working with an organization where it's leadership, it's operations, it's culture, it's financial strategies, it's personnel strategies, all of these different things that make a business actually move.
Right.
So it kind of started in sales, and then it started moving along, and ultimately it was just because I wanted to help people. I like being useful. I like help people like problem solve. Like you got a problem, like let me help you solve it. Like I get a lot of fulfillment out of making other people feel better.
Okay.
As weird as that sounds. Yeah.
And that's how you started becoming an Empire certified coach as well. Was that the thing that propelled you to be that way, to be a coaching?
Yeah. I really got involved with Empire because I really respect Eddie Wilson and what he does.
Okay.
He does so many great things. The guy has run God knows how many companies, like over 100. He's actually successfully
Wow.
exited over 100 of them for a
Wow.
tune of a little over 1.2 billion.
Oh my goodness.
And
Yeah.
he synthesized everything down to and Frankensteined a bunch of different programs plus his real life experience into something called the Empire Operating System. And I just really loved Eddie. I really really like kind of what he stood for, his background. There's other guys like Gino Wickman, and there's other organizations out
Mm-hmm.
there like Strategic Coach and everything. But Eddie, I met him kind of when he was in the ground up for specific masterminds. Like one of them was called Power Room, and I really love that even back then, years ago, it was humble, easy to connect with, very successful, and even today, even that much more successful, but also maintain those core values.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So it was something where I felt like if I'm going to take a system and use that to help other people,
Mm-hmm.
that's a really good launch pad for me because there's areas of the Empire system that are really, really great. And then there's things that make me actually that much more effective as a consultant, as a coach,
Right.
based off of my background experience. So when you marry those two
Mm-hmm.
things, I feel like that's where a lot of my success came from, and
Okay.
that's why our clients are just absolutely kicking ass.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah,
And then also helped you to create a Kaizen acceleration as well. Was that? Yeah.
Kaizen was first. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
Kaizen was first. So uh, when Kaizen first came about, like I really just love kind of the idea of the commitment to constant never-ending improvement, which is what Kaizen means
Mm-hmm.
in Japanese. And acceleration is like, let's just get there faster.
Yeah.
There's people that's like 1% better every day. It's like, you know what, man, you have everything within your power to do a quantum leap if you want to, if you can believe it, if you really feel like that's aligned for you, if that's
Mm-hmm.
something that you feel in your bones that you could totally do, you should do it. Yes, steady, easy as you go. That's cool. That's great. That's awesome. If that's what's going to be progress for you, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. If that was, yeah.
If that works for you, that works for you.
Yeah.
But if you want to take a big leap and do have a quantum leap, there's just modules and there's methods and there's ways of getting there easier, quicker, faster. It might be unorthodox. It might be a little painful, but the question is it worth it? And in a lot of cases, it is. So that's where the crux of where that came about, where I've worked with CEOs, I worked with like high
Right.
performance executives, uh, and fine tuning what actually works for them. And that's very, very different because ultimately these are kind of mindset approaches that then manifest themselves into kind of tangible outcomes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So like
That's
sales, for
amazing.
example, like sometimes it's a mindset thing
Yeah.
someone needs to overcome, and they double their sales.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's how what you learn, and that's how it made you move and pivot from your role in sales, learning everything holistically, and then moving on to being a coach with the Kaizen, and
Yeah,
then
because I was constantly getting people asking me. So
okay.
like and that's something that I feel like people should kind of consider is that
Mm,
there's when you look at kind of personality styles, everybody falls into certain personality, right? Like I'm sure there's some folks that really love data. They love operations, systems, protocol, step by step, consistent outcome.
uh-huh.
Others hate that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, I know
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And thank God for the people that are systematic because we need people like that. Like the
Mm-hmm.
world, society needs people to make sure that we don't make a mistake, especially if we're building bridges, if we're building microchips, software, weapons. You need
Mm-hmm.
people that can identify, hey, that's the mistake. We need to fix that bug
Mm-hmm.
so it's good, right? But you also need people that are driving. You need other people that are communal, that like, hey, let's get along. You need people that are energy. And
That's
that's
good.
society. And those are the four quadrants. And um, the way that you can tell, and this is kind of where I was going with this, is that you want to think about when people come to you for advice, when people try to extract something from you, you should consider what that is. And
Oh.
so, like, if even for you, Justin, like, if people are calling you up, you're like, the, uh, do people call you, be like, I need a shoulder to cry on?
Uh-huh.
I need you to encourage me. That's probably not going to be it for you. But if they say, hey, I got a problem, I need to fix it, that's probably the phone calls that you get.
Okay, yeah, that makes
It
sense.
makes
Yeah,
sense, right?
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, hey, Justin, I have this issue here. I have this issue with this software. I have this issue with this
Mm-hmm.
thing. Can you help me untangle this problem?
Yeah,
That's more likely what you get, right?
right.
Right.
Typically the day to
Right.
day, yeah.
It's probably not like this person broke up with me. I need a. He'd be like,
Uh,
good luck, bro. Yeah.
I get it occasionally, so it's okay.
Occasionally, right,
Okay,
right.
okay.
So I think when people um, take inventory on are do people reach out to me because uh, they need results and I help them get results? Do people reach out to me because they need energy and I'm there to energize them? Do people reach out to me because they need support and I'm there to support them? Or do people reach out to me because they need to problem solve? They need systemization of some type, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was always, I have this problem, I have this problem. And when I fix it, what's the natural thing that they're going to say to other people?
They'll say this person helped
This
me.
person helped me, and
Yeah.
this person helped me.
Mm-hmm.
So then what happens is a lot of word of mouth, a lot of referral,
Wow,
a lot
okay.
of like, oh, he helped me with this process. Like, oh shit, I have that same issue. But you're an accounting firm, and this one's a bakery, and then this one is a AI company, and this one's a coaching company.
Yeah.
So the underlying thing is like he helped me with operations, but at least those business owners know like, okay, what may have worked with you may not work with me, but let me connect with that person to
Mm-hmm.
see how we can do this better.
Interesting,
So
yeah.
it started kind of compounding that way. And what I wanted was to have a certification in something that's tried, that's true, that's helpful, that works, and I could pull additional resources to help me basically improve my clients' situations that much easier and that much faster. And Empire is one of the things that I decided to use to arm myself
Yeah.
to help more people in the market.
Okay.
Think of it as like I have a gun, I have a battle axe.
Yeah.
Now it's like cool. I got a bow and arrow. I got a map. I got all these new tools that
Yeah.
I can use
Yeah.
to be that much more effective in the market. And Empire is one of those tools that I used.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
you're just building more tools in your tool belt, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, going through that.
if you're more versatile as a consultant, as a
Mm-hmm.
coach, you're going to be more sought after.
Okay. That's good. And it sounds as though that was your aha moment. It's like, oh, these people are just coming to me, so maybe I should start doing something with this.
Here's where the aha was.
Okay.
The aha was more on they under like okay. Here's actually where the aha was. People were coming to me. I've always kind of had that in life.
Okay.
So even when I was young, people would always kind of come to me and ask for like advice. That was a constant thing
Wow.
since
That's
I was like a high schooler.
wow. That's
Yes,
yeah.
always. And the aha was actually much later when people were giving me feedback where they're like, I can actually understand what you're trying to say. So the aha was like, oh, they've worked with other people and they got nowhere because the
Mm,
consultant was talking to them in a way that they didn't understand.
I see what you're saying.
And therefore they couldn't get
Uh
results.
huh.
Right. So if you started talking to me in the language of coding, right, of like all this, I'd be like, I don't know what it's
Yeah.
English, but I
Yeah.
don't know what the hell you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I felt the aha was like, oh, I can actually understand their problem better than they can, and I could repeat it back to them better than they can. And when I
Okay.
lay out a prescription or when I customize a solution,
Yeah.
they actually understand it because I explained it in a way that they get.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the aha. We're like, oh, not everyone is doing that.
Interesting.
Huh, maybe I should lean into this a little bit more because now I can explain things quicker, easier, and faster back to them. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, then you must know the solution.
Wow.
That's actually a quote from, I think it's Ramit Sethi. He says that if you can accurately articulate the problem of your prospect better than they can, they're going to assume you have the solution.
Wow. That's profound right there.
It's profound.
Yeah.
And I
And
was doing that for years.
and it's just natural for you. You don't have like a psychology degree or anything. It's just natural.
It was very natural, but I did study a lot of
Okay.
psychology. Yeah, I love that stuff. I love studying like sociology, psychology. I love studying psychiatry, Stoicism,
Wow. Yeah.
Buddhism, Brahmanism,
Everything.
all of that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just if you can understand how people think, act,
Mm-hmm.
and operate naturally, then you're able to kind of piece apart what they're thinking,
Right. And then
and
you yeah.
I could pivot. Yeah,
That's amazing. And you're able to like boil it down to like the way that they think and the way that they talk so that they can resonate with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing.
because ultimately you want to pick up a like, okay, because have there been times someone tries to explain something to you and
Hmm.
you know they know you don't know what they're talking about?
Yeah, I guess sometimes I can get that feel of it, but sometimes I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Yeah.
Right. And I think I think that's like one of the important things too, is like you're talking to someone and you're saying something and I could tell you're like, oh,
You're
this
like,
guy doesn't know
it's
what
like,
he's I lost him. I lost him, right?
yeah.
So as soon as that happens, I can be like, all right, here's an example. It's like this and this plus that.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, I got it. I was like,
Okay. Yeah.
perfect. And then I can move. So that way I'm not losing them along the journey, because like you can have a brilliant coach, a brilliant consultant that can really help you in your business and skyrocket. But if they can't talk to you and you don't understand what the hell they're saying, it it's pointless, because they're not going to work with you. They're not going to. They're like, I'm confused.
Okay.
Confusion doesn't lead to a transaction. It doesn't lead to an agreement. It doesn't
Hmm.
lead to an understanding. It doesn't lead to any of that. When you can have a good agreement and they get what you're trying to say and you understand what they're trying to say,
Hmm.
then you can move that relationship forward and then you can get results. But
Okay.
it
Yeah.
doesn't happen just right off the bat.
Right.
You gotta be good at reading people.
That's amazing. Yeah. And how is that? Is there anything during this whole time that you're coaching people? What were like the challenges you faced that were like very like something that was something that you have to really overcome? Like, was there anything?
Yeah. So I think one side of it is probably letting go of different types of sales processes.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Even in coaching?
yeah.
Oh.
So I think that's something that maybe some people don't ever really experience. So if you are, let's just say, you're selling cars, right? And you were taught a way to sell used Chevrolet vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
That sales process might look different than if you started to work at a Ferrari dealership. That sales process is going to be probably a little bit different because the person is different.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's just say you started going from there to doing software sales with Oracle or IBM.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different
That's
sale.
different.
That's a
Yes.
different sale. And then now you're still selling software at IBM, but now you're doing medical software sales and you're
Mm-hmm.
going after hospitals. That's going to flip your sales process too, because the sales cycle on a used car thing is probably like a day.
Yeah.
Ferrari might be a little bit longer, but I have a friend that does software sales for hospitals. It's like 9 to 18 months
Wow.
from like first contact to the actual sale. It's
Okay.
just those are 7-figure sales. So it's different.
Okay.
So when you're trying to figure out like, okay, how do I sell, because no one just jumps in and starts selling luxury yachts at 18. Like that's rare. It's usually like they sell gym memberships and they start selling,
Mm-hmm.
this and luxury
Solar.
furniture. Yeah, like they just start building, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes like when you're in that space, you almost have to let go of what you've learned before, take some of the things that are effective and not always apply them. So it's almost like if I'm learning jujitsu and I came from Muay Thai, I'm not going to kick someone in the face right off the bat. Like I almost have to let that go. It's there, and I need to pocket it
Yeah.
so I can learn the jujitsu, and then I can learn kickboxing, and then I can learn boxing, then I can learn something else.
Mm-hmm.
And on that journey, you're going to kind of build out uh, skill sets along the way. And I feel like with coaches and consultants, um, usually oftentimes they cradle to grave a relationship. So what I mean by that is like they're the point of contact, they develop the relationship, they close the deal, and then they go into fulfillment and then they depart.
That's a
So
lot.
they go through that whole thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes if someone's doing sales, they just know this front end where they're like
Just
prospecting, they
funneling
get
in.
it and they
Yeah.
close it,
Mm-hmm.
and they do sales in a way like they're doing for used car, when they should be doing the sales style of a long-term hospital
Mm-hmm.
software
Yeah.
system for like long term, because that's a different type of rapport building strategy
Right.
versus, hey, how are you, let's like sign, get you out
Okay.
of here.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's a mistake that coaches do, is that um, that they don't look at different sales techniques or coaching styles
Mm-hmm.
that match them. they just adopt what maybe works someplace else and they're applying it into the world of consulting, and that's not the same. And sometimes what
Wow.
ends up
Okay.
happening is they accidentally insult the client, or they insult the person you're trying to work with, and they don't mean to. They're just using an approach that's effective for a sales
Another thing.
pipeline for
Yeah.
something else, but you're making the business owner feel stupid. You're making them feel dumb. You're making them feel irrelevant or small because, oh, you're running a $10 million company and you have 1% net profit. How does that make you feel? Are you okay with that? Is your family okay with that? Is this what you start like? That's a sales tactic. And then, but if you're gonna do that and then get them to close and work with you, then you're anchoring negativity with yourself, and it's not wise. You want to do things in a way that they want to continue to work with you even after you're peeling back uncomfortable things with their business.
Mm-hmm.
So getting really really sharp at leveraging minimizers in your speech is effective.
Okay. And is that how you is that how you separate yourself out there from all the other coaches and consultants? Because you are able to tailor your thing based on.
That's a good question. um, I would say because I don't necessarily like market it that way, like as far as a differentiator.
Mm-hmm.
what what I feel like would be that differentiator when people come and sit down with me and they work with my team or they work with myself, is that side of it, I think, is where they feel is a big difference. It's like, oh wow, like
Mm-hmm.
I felt like you weren't trying to cram down a goal. I feel like you weren't trying to um, push upon objectives onto me.
Yeah.
I feel like you were really trying to understand like where I was coming
Right.
from.
Mm-hmm.
You were trying to understand like how you got to this point, and it felt so someone really uses the word like disarming. Like it was really easy to talk to you. It was easy to
Gotcha.
open up to you
Yeah. Okay.
because it's not uncomfortable. If you have a rash on your ball sack, dude, and you go to like a doctor and you have to like, all right, dude, I screwed the wrong chick. It's kind of itchy.
Yeah.
It's like it's so embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's uncomfortable sometimes. And when it's like your business and you're like, dude, I'm working 80 hours a week. I'm hardly seeing my wife. I'm hardly seeing my husband. My kids are really frustrated. I keep missing soccer practice and
Mm-hmm.
soccer games. I'm not making a whole lot of money. I've had to not pay myself for the last month because I'm trying to make payroll to keep the staff.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in a market where if they leave me, I can't replace them.
Yeah.
Now I'm really fucked. And I'm trying to keep it together and I'm trying to get help. And then here I am trying to hurt you. It's like, no, that's not
No.
the,
Yeah.
no,
We're
no,
just
no.
trying to help
It's
them out.
embarrassing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be a little embarrassing where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing and I need help and I don't know where to begin and I'm just in pain.
And that's where you come in.
And that's where I come into like, first, let's give them I hate saying this, but like you want to give them a space where they feel like it's okay, where they can just release. And then it's up to me to like organize what they're trying to say and be like, this is what's going on, which is affecting this. You want this, and these are some ways that we can do it.
Man, you sound like a therapist.
Yo, a lot of it kind of is. Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of it really is.
That's interesting. And that's kind of like your day to day then. If you go through that and people come for you for coaching, and you just have to they come to you with something, and you just have to unpack everything to come to the key place and say, this is where I need to fix to help you, to coach you in that sense, to be able to help the client.
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy because like you are not trying. Sometimes you need to take your time and allow it to marinate and sizzle a little bit
Okay.
because there are some calls that are like, let's just say 30 minutes for an hour or whatever, where you're trying to unpack things. I already know the problem within like 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Oh, it's blatantly obvious. I'm sure for you, like there's probably some projects you got on your table where it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's this and this.
Yeah.
Like it's like so easy,
Mm-hmm.
but the other person doesn't see it, and you almost need them to kind of give you give you their journey in order for it to not come off as dismissive. Like
Interesting.
if
Yeah.
they came in and in 5 minutes, like, all right, I know everything. It's this and this. All right, let's move. It can come across as like I'm dismissing their journey, or they, especially if it's their first time working with somebody, it's like uh, they may feel like I didn't hear them out
The
enough,
whole thing. Yeah.
the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
because so now if I expand and ask more questions and get them to open and open and open, like at the very least they feel like, okay, he heard me, and then he gave me um actual like tactical advice, like an actionable advice,
Mm-hmm.
versus let's just use like a relationship example.
Relationship. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like, let's just say a girl or a guy is like, "Hey, I'm having marital problems," and they tell me 2 minutes what's going on. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you just have an ego problem. You have this." And they're gonna be like,
Well, tell me.
it's gonna be a hard pill for them to swallow. But if
Yeah.
you kind of let them like talk it out, release. They're in coaching. They call it like a coaching release, like a pressure release. Sometimes you need to let the other person just it, like let it out,
Mm-hmm.
even just for like a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes where you're just listening, and they let it out. And then you ask a couple questions, they let it out, and they're like, okay, let me repeat back what I think I heard. I'm hearing this, and this. Am I off on this? And they're like, no, that's right on the mark. Okay.
Wow.
And you just move it along.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a fine balance of moving the conversation along, but then also giving the other person um, time to just kind of explain and reveal and describe what they're going through, so they feel like they actually gave you that information, even though
Yeah.
you may know what the issue is right from the beginning, because it's a relationship. It's not like straight transaction.
Okay. Damn, man, that's quite profound, and this is everything that you've been going through and training and helping everybody.
Yeah.
Um, how is that helping? Like, what do you how do you see yourself right now in the future? Like projected, like from here on out, are you still gonna be building it and growing it, and you know?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a couple initiatives or projects that I have. So one of them is with best practice strategies, where we're really niching down into doctors. I don't know if you know this, but about depending on which places you're getting your information from, but it could be between 80, excuse me, 80,000 to 130,000, excuse me, doctors that are going to be leaving healthcare in the next 5 years. That is massive. There is a huge shortage in healthcare employees. And the reason why a lot of these doctors are like less of them are going into medicine when they graduate, when they get into healthcare, they're staying in the hospital system and they're not opening up private practices at the level that they were before. So it's less. The
Mhm.
doctors that are already out there in the market, they're more of them are retiring early, and more of them are letting their businesses go or selling their businesses. So it's squeezing that. So it's like healthcare as we know it is going to be extinct in probably 5 to 10 years. It's going to be completely different. And why that's happening is because there's a lot of brilliant doctors that are not running their business like an entrepreneur. They're running it in a way that's causing a lot of headache, operational chaos. It's really poor executional performance with their staff. It's causing a lot of schedule issues. Most of these doctors, they work with health insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and denials are going up.
Wow.
Right, so that messes with their money.
Yeah.
So now you have an insurance conglomerate that's saying, no, we're not going to pay
Pay
you.
you. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm the doctor,
Yeah.
this patient needs this, and like, no, we don't. It's just it's ugly. So one of my partners, Dr. Dan Hassan, I'm not sure if you met him. He and I came together and we created a whole curriculum. We created a whole process, a whole calculator, all this stuff that we're just deploying across America. We also wrote a book called "The Dark Side of Healthcare Management," which is it's a thin book, but it's very effective,
Mhm.
and it gets into leadership, operations, culture, strategies for growth, financial strategies, marketing, sales. And I think if more doctors had fundamental knowledge on running a business, then all those issues that I mentioned are going to be drastically reduced down. And then they can have that really good combo of being a really wise and grounded entrepreneur, business owner, but also having enough capacity and energy to be also a brilliant doctor.
Mhm.
And it's usually one or the other, and that's where things can get pretty ugly. So that's one thing that we're building out, and we're going to be buying a medical billing company probably in the next few months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing projection for you, and like
Well, we need to help that
Yeah.
space, yeah, because it selfishly, like even though this morning I was showing you, like my daughter got she fell off this swing that we have inside of the house, and she smashed her face, and
Mm-hmm.
both her front teeth
Yeah.
are out now.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
And so if there was less dentists in the market, because dentists are no different, then the ones that are remaining are going to be flooded. It's going to be that much harder to see someone right then and there,
Mm-hmm.
because now dentistry is congested. You know what I'm saying?
Congested, like
Like it's congested. It's almost like traffic. So if you have like 50 dentists and there's like availability, and then let's just say if half of those went, now there's only 25 in the market. What do you think that's going to do to those to those clinics? They're
you're gonna be like
they're,
overbooked
they're,
and
they're
in
like
the
congested, right?
yeah,
So for me as a parent, it's harder for me to get my kid in.
yeah.
And we had to take an X-ray, and there was a fracture. There was a fracture in the adult tooth that she has
Oh
coming in.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
So now I would have to wait longer over the weekend. It would have been hanging. It would have been right. See what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like just today, um, that is going to be more a reality in the future as more of these doctors are leaving
Leaving.
medicine. Yeah, and that's not fair to our community, and they deserve to get coached the right way,
And
and
this
they're not getting help the right way.
hmm
Yeah,
and that's where you come in to be
that's
able
where.
to, and that's the projection, and that's the goal. I mean, like the vision you guys have.
Oh yeah, yeah. We want to do that, and then with the medical billing company, there's a lot of AI technology that we want to. As soon as we grab the one that we're looking at, once we buy it, we want to integrate a lot of AI technology where we can do just way more with less, instead of
Mm.
having some medical billing companies that have like 200 people in another country just constantly dialing the insurance, the insurance companies to try to see what's going on with the rejection or see what's going on with the denial. So I'd rather have AI tech smuggled into that, so you could do more with less.
Okay.
Yeah,
And is this gonna be like a physical building that you're looking to?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple that we have our eyes set on. So we're working with a business broker to help us basically identify like the right one and making sure that their underwriting and systems and everything are in place.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing,
yeah,
and that's such a tremendous thing that you guys are doing, and it's such a eclectic of thing that you're doing, right? From like sales to the coaching, and now to
yeah.
this doctors. Yeah, and
It's exciting, man. My whole family's in the medical business. So like my mom's a nurse. I
okay,
have uncles that are like graduated from Stanford, from they're like a USC valedictorian,
wow,
from med tech to psychologists, like you name it. So everyone, especially on my mom's side, are all of them are in healthcare
oh wow,
and at a very high level. So I took it really personal when, especially my mom, when they went through COVID and they had to just, it was this wave of regulation and red tape, and that really hurt how they do medicine, how they actually help patients. There's a lot of people in healthcare that really do care about people.
mm-hmm,
They
yeah,
they do really want their patients, crazy as it may sound, they actually want their patients to be better, to
mm-hmm,
recover and
yeah,
like kick ass and like, all right, you're good now. Let's get you out of here. Get the next one in. Get them better.
mm-hmm.
Like they that is so fulfilling to them. And when there's all this legislative red tape, all these things happening that gets in the way with that, they're wearing double masks, all that,
Oh, during the COVID times,
especially during COVID. Yeah,
like the whole suit,
all of that,
the
yeah,
mask,
because a lot of
the
them were doing that in California, and that was probably one of the worst. Like New York, New Jersey, California, where Illinois was one of the most strictest of lockdowns, and God, that was tough out there. So it bugged me. It really didn't sit well with me that people were getting treated like that.
wow, yeah, that's I remember those times. It was just interesting to, yeah, we couldn't go anywhere. I remember you cannot go anywhere. Going to work was interesting. Going to anywhere was interesting. It's just
It was 5 years ago, half a
yeah,
decade. It feels like it was
it
in
was
a
just
weird way. It's
yesterday.
like
Yeah,
yesterday. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
and
After COVID.
so many things have happened since then. It's like now we're kind of like back to normal, but I don't know. You never know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. There's some wild stuff that's been going on here in 2025.
yeah.
But there's a lot, like there's a 2025 bingo card, and there's been a lot of things going
You got
on
to
in the
check it off on
world.
the bingo card. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And I know we were talking before, like how you balancing this like work life balance type things, and we were mentioning earlier about it, about work life balance, about how people are
yeah.
going to work and doing. and then going back to see family and yeah.
Yeah. So when I work with business owners, you want to have because entrepreneurship is not easy.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah.
simple. It's not this cakewalk. It is very rare that that ever happens where things are a cakewalk. Things are changing legislatively. Tax code is changing. Um, there's environmental factors that change. There could be a tariff that changes, like where you get your products from or whatever. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that can change a business, and that's environmental. So even internally, like you can have changes where, for example, like I was telling you a little bit earlier, like I have a client right now that went in yesterday for an MRI because there's a strong chance he has a brain tumor. So I was
Oh
like, how do you
man.
navigate through that? How do you have their employees stay aligned and not feel like, oh, they can kind of slack off,
Yeah.
or they start looking for work someplace else because a lot of things are dependent on the business owner. So it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
So there's internal things and external things, and so that whole side of business is pretty stressful. There's a lot on the mind. There's payroll, drama.
Yeah.
You lose an account, you gain an account. That could be just as stressful too. If you like, you gain Walt Disney Corporation as your client, and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my
Yeah.
god, and or if you lose a small client. So there's things that happen kind of in that world, and when you go home, you want to. I want to know whether my client is single or they're in a relationship or they're married, and if that is the case, then also like what's the situation with children, right? Um, if someone is single and they
Mm-hmm.
just they go home and they hang out, they
Yeah.
go have a drink, they go do things like I'm trying to look for what are ways that you decompress, what are ways
Okay.
in which you can kind of relax and charge up your battery. And you have some people that are pretty introverted where they need to kind of step away,
Yeah.
and they're almost like a solar panel, like they need to step away and they need to charge themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
And other people are fired up when they're around other folks.
Extroverted
They're
people.
very
Yeah.
extroverted people, like
Yeah.
that's just what fires them up, that's what
Okay.
gets them going. And so when you're talking about work-life balance, I don't always believe that that's a thing. It's you
Mm,
tolerate what you tolerate on this end, and you tolerate what you tolerate on this end. There's probably not going to be much of a feeling of a balance. It's always going to feel off sometimes, and it's because what you might need with your business and what you might need personally might be very different than the next
right.
person.
Mm-hmm.
What might be really, really hard and difficult and challenging for you might feel just at home for me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Look at like some famous business owners like Elon Musk and what he does, just as an example, right? Like what his day to day looks like
Oh wow.
versus,
That's
right? But that's his normal.
yeah.
That's his balance. That's what works for him. Or Jeff Bezos, it's like what works for him may not work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what's effective is you want to look at what are the things that help you decompress, things that get you back to center, and what is a mental health survival kit that you develop.
Mental
And
health survival kit. Okay.
yeah. So when I work with somebody, that's one of the things that I'll incorporate into their plan, depending on where they are at as a person. What I mean by that is like when someone is really stressed out in the business or something happens,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do at that point? Do you just keep it, suppress it, internalize it, and let it fester? Or do you go out on a run? Do you do yoga? Do you do a cold
Okay.
plunge? Do
Yeah.
you play a musical instrument? Do you call a friend? Do you have a mentor that you touch base with? Do you send out positive voice messages? Do you journal? Do you have a gratitude journal? Right? Like things like that, where when something hits the fan, that you have a handful of things that you do in a sequence
Mm-hmm.
that gets you like right back in it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And that looks different from person to person. I have a friend that loves golf. He's like, if shit hits the fan, I tell my
Mm-hmm.
assistant to reschedule some stuff and I'll play a round of 18 holes.
Interesting. Okay, that's
And
good.
that just helps them.
Yeah.
I don't like golf. So someone told me, you should do golf. I'm like, you should go fuck yourself, dude. I'm not playing golf. I don't like it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't care about it.
Because it doesn't align with you.
I don't, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. It doesn't fire me up. It actually stresses me more. But for someone else, it's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like I would actually rather go do a stairmaster for 30 minutes and sit in the sauna for another 30 minutes, and that helps me, not golf.
Yeah.
So finding out what that mental health survival kit is that when something hits the fan, or your stress levels are really going upwards, boiling over, what do you have a game plan to get yourself grounded back
Right.
to center? And that is something that I think people need to look at. Having something like that where you have a game plan or a contingency is important, because if you're not 100%, then you're pouring from an empty cup. If you're fried as a CEO, you're just absolutely barbecued. Do you really think you're going to run meetings the best way possible? You really think
Mm-hmm.
you're going to pour into your kids or your employees or your executive leadership in the best way possible when people can literally tell that you are absolutely fried chicken? It's like, no, no.
Yeah.
So um, I think organizations run better when they know the CEO is cool, calm, collected. They're energized. They're taking care of themselves. They're practicing good hygiene. They're practicing good communication. They're present with their people. This has a strong trickle effect into an organization. So I look at making sure, like, if you don't have this, let's develop something where you start practicing that, so that way you can keep at bay the stress that's already coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and you're decompressing in a wise way.
Okay, and that's how you're trying to train this person that's going through that
Yeah, because
yeah.
it's a long game.
Yeah.
Like business is a long game. It's rare that someone that has it in them to be a business owner that's like, I'm going to develop my first company, scale it, sell it, and I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to just fuck off for the rest of my life. It's
That's
not very often. It's very rare that someone's like that.
yeah, but
They
yeah.
have to conquer and do other things and next project and new things and new stuff. So it's a long game. It's always going to be a long game. And so if you know that you're going to be in that journey for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking years,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have departments within yourself so that you are effective. Just like in a business, you have like an operations department, you have a finance department, you have taxes, you have legal, you have HR, you have marketing.
Yeah, have all
And
the
all these
departments.
things need to be humming really well to make sure the business is
Yeah.
grooving. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
How's your sleep? How's your nutrition? How's your recovery? How's your stress? Right? How's your food? How's your
No one talks about that in
right? No one
business.
talks
Yeah.
about that. Like,
Yeah.
how's your hydration? How's your so those, think of those as like departments for yourself too. You can have the best food,
Wow.
you can have the best hydration, but if you're
Yeah.
getting 3 hours of sleep every night, good luck.
Yeah.
Right. These are things that need to be appreciated for the CEO to have enough stamina for that long game. That is an endurance game. And if someone is keeping good tabs on like their body, working out, they're stretching, they're um,
Eating well.
eating
Yeah.
well, right? Exactly, eating well, all that. Like versus the entrepreneur that's not. Where
Mm.
would you put your money?
Yeah.
Probably on this one.
Exactly. Like, how will you know about that kind of history or the person that you're going to be working with, or this is kind of I get from
So,
face.
so
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes you don't know until you're in it.
Yeah.
It's like dating. Like you're not gonna, when you commit to somebody, like, all right, you're gonna be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
Ah.
know everything.
Exactly.
Things
Yeah.
can pop up. So it's on the coach or on the other partner to be like, okay, I just found out this element. How do we navigate through that? How do we overcome that? And so
That's interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So I had a client, and they went through. Um, they had to rely on. They were really, their back was against the wall on certain projects for their business,
Mm-hmm.
and they leaned too heavily on like Adderall.
Oof.
Right?
Okay.
It's basically meth.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're just trying to finish things so that their business can survive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're not doing it to like jack off or do anything like that.
Right.
Like, and so when you're on a drug like that, even consistently, even short term, it can do a lot to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So now this person needs to get like cleaned up. They're running a multi-million-dollar business. They're doing really, really well. They're kicking ass. They're one of the highest rated companies on the West Coast for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And and you know that they're starting to do those things kind of on the front end, and it's like either I support that, I help them work through that, or encourage them to work with another professional, do like a detox clinic,
Yeah.
things like that,
Uh-huh.
right? Because the ultimate goal of me getting involved is to still attack certain objectives, and that's just a condition that has come up where it's Adderall abuse. And now you're
That's
like, and so you don't know this 4 months ago. It happened 2 weeks ago. And you're like, hey man, something seems off. Like, yeah, dude, I had to start getting this, and my this person gave me this, and I feel a little locked on it, and I'm going to do it for the next few weeks until this is done. And then it's like checking into a rehab clinic. Most people don't know that.
that's
In fact, entrepreneurs are twice as likely to have addictions than non-entrepreneurs, almost double.
huh.
Alcoholism is double in entrepreneurs than it is in people that are not.
Interesting.
Yes.
Wow.
You have all that stress in business. You're not going to take the edge off. And sometimes people do things in a healthy way, which is what I talked about a little bit earlier. Like, hey,
Yeah.
do things in a way that's healthy, that
Yeah.
fills your soul, that makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people lean way too much to alcohol or into drug or Zoloft or something else, or Percocet, painkiller, whatever. Or they'll get into women, they'll get into other things. And most people don't know like that side of business. But in order for this business owner to be effective, sometimes we need to pull them away on that side and have them do things that are healthier that equally decompress them. That's a different side of consulting. And that's not what you harp in on. But when you work with an organization to get an objective done, you have to appreciate where they are too as a person.
Wow, that's crazy. That's the things that you have to go through. And from before, I thought coaching and consulting is just like for business and stuff. I didn't know you have to go through the whole holistic thing.
Well, because not that you necessarily have to go through
Mm-hmm.
that. There's been a lot of times where the best thing for me to tell them is that I recommend you talk to a therapist.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
like
Okay. Fair
you need to
enough.
do this.
Yeah.
Yes. Like there's some areas where it's like I'm going to give you my story or my area of my advice on this,
Uh-huh.
but ultimately I recommend on this, like that's where it stops, and you need to talk to like a therapist on this one, or you need to talk to a doctor on this one, or you need to go get blood work on this thing, right? And I have to be wise enough that I cannot answer everything. I can't. I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't. It's wise for them to seek out other places too. The difference is that we've spent time in developing a relationship where like now they feel comfortable in asking me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to be the wise one and say, I don't know that.
Yeah.
That's a doctor, or
Okay.
that's a pediatrist. Like
Okay.
that's a
Yeah.
different situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you were able to recommend people then, based on your network and your.
In some cases, yes. In other
Mm-hmm.
cases where like I'll have a client that's in like Texas, for example. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know that market. So I don't have a person in Houston, Texas for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in other places, like I would, and I would make a recommendation, and then other times I would just tell them like, hey, just uh, I actually got this on one of our podcasts where we had a guest say, open yourself up to your network and allow them to surprise you.
Mm.
Meaning, sometimes there's people that you know in your own world
Yeah.
that has the connection you're looking for, and
Yeah.
you just don't know because you haven't asked.
Right.
So allow your network to surprise you sometimes. And so in those cases, I
Mm-hmm.
would encourage the entrepreneur, like, you know what, ask around in your network if they know a good um, family attorney or a
Mm-hmm.
relationship therapist,
Yeah.
or a good yogic, or a good detox center, or anything like that. Like maybe ask around in your own neck of the woods. You'll be surprised at what you get. So
Right. For the
go
recommendation.
that first, and then just research, look at track record, and look at duration. Those are the two things I always encourage them to look at.
Yeah.
What's the track record of the organization or the person, and then also how long have they been doing it for?
Okay. Yeah, that's true actually. Like meeting people, talking to people. That's how I got started right now. Networking. That's how I met you too, right?
Yeah.
It's just going out and just networking with people and getting to know people, like and seeing what they do and everything. I was like, oh, I didn't know you do that. Just
Yeah.
ask him. I was
It's
like,
like, oh
oh,
wow, I didn't know you do bow hunting in
yeah,
Africa. Steve, you've been
yeah,
holding out on me. We should go.
exactly. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was just talking to people. I was like, oh, you're from here. You're doing this. it's just kind of like so many things that you get to see, right?
Hmm.
And I'm in the W2 world as well. You don't, when you go out, all of a sudden you have all these things. It's like it's kind of
Yeah,
interesting to see and get to experience it, going to events, and yeah.
yeah.
So that's really profound. It's like something different right now for me that's changed in my life.
Just meeting different people
Yeah,
and
meeting
getting.
different people. It's like, oh, I didn't know there
I
was
didn't
a
know you
different.
could make money doing that. I
Yeah,
didn't know you could do
exactly.
this. Yeah.
And even in the meetups I go to right now, like at first I just went to those just real estate meetups.
Hmm.
Then I started to changing and going to different meetups, and
Hmm.
then that's how I met you, and so other amazing people.
Hmm.
So I'm very grateful for that, and so that's kind of like I see that as well, just to be self-aware on doing things that way. And but yeah, that's truly tremendous, like what
Hmm.
you're doing, helping people, and this crazy the things that you come across, and you probably see so many things that just have to get the training and the insights,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really good to make sure that you have uh, a really good network within yourself. So if you're a coach and consultant, you should have that. You shouldn't just read a bunch of books and then call yourself a coach.
Okay.
But like that's not that's like reading a bunch of books on boxing but never been in a fight, never actually
Yeah, I
didn't
see what
been
you're
in a
saying. Yeah.
boxing match. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need to go out and do it and get your reps in. You need to
Right.
get good at that. And part of that is this transference of knowledge, this transference of power. And that comes from being around a community. And sometimes it's a community that you create. It's like, you're building a network, but then also getting that network to cross pollinate within itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, what are you looking for? Like, what does Justin want? What would you love? And actually just having a conversation. And then it's like, what? I have a really good person for that. Or I have this one. Or, let me connect you guys. You're
Yeah,
here locally. Why don't you guys go grab a drink?
exactly.
Shoot the
Yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah.
And it actually helps because it's that third degree of separation
Separation.
that
Yeah.
actually builds me up selfishly. Like it does, but it actually helps you guys too.
Right.
So when problems arise or where there's situations that a client might be facing, I can refer to someone that's like, they are a psychologist, they are a psychiatrist, they are a fitness guru, they are like a personal trainer, or they are a software engineer, or they might have all these things, that there's something that's going on with my client. And I could say like, hey, that's a really good question. Research this, but let me go ask a couple people that I know and get back to you. And that's sometimes it's a really good effective thing to say.
Okay.
And but that would be hard to deliver on if you didn't have that. And I'd rather have that, um, and double check with that before doing anything like on AI or chat GPT, because there's no wisdom in that. I think there's a lot of consultants that are very heavy on that they just live in the world of chat GPT.
Interesting. Even
Yeah,
though ChatGPT is pretty new, and they still go in there and just do a lot of what.
100%. it's
Oh.
it's crazy. Yeah, 100%. They'll talk to them and they're like, yes, let me create something. Trust me, AI is really great, and for what it is, it's absolutely incredible. But that you should not have that replace true human relationships at all. And you want to have people that are doing it. Yeah, you want to have people that are in the trenches
Mm-hmm.
doing the thing that is going to be helpful for your client. So when you go and ask that, you can have a real life dialogue with somebody versus an AI,
Yeah.
some kind of system.
And for you right now, you're doing it face to face, everything. No AI, no AI chatbot and stuff like that. Not using it as a, hey, let me ask AI first, and then we get back to you. But you.
There's some situations where like I don't know a particular thing, and
Okay.
I'll like ask, and oh, that's what it is. Maybe they were using like a certain term or whatever I wasn't
Okay.
aware of.
Yeah.
Like
So that's the kind of they're using it as a tool to help you. Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So like for example, DAPT, like that's something that came to me that's actually pretty neat. It's a domestic asset protection trust,
Okay.
right? So it was like cool.
Okay.
I got it. Someone explained it to me, and then I used ChatGPT to kind of learn a little bit more about it. And then I actually have relationships with people here locally
Mm-hmm.
with Nevada corporate headquarters, which they're one of the largest business development firms in the state. They launched. It was like there was a Monster energy drink. It was one of the other pretty major energy drinks. It may have been Monster.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And oh my god, it's slipping. But
It's okay.
yeah, but what they do is they've done like hundreds of thousands of like incorporations, and so they'll build out irrevocable living trust, revocable trust, family trust, real estate privacy trust. Like they develop all that, so I can learn something from ChatGPT and get like the crux of
Mm-hmm.
it, but then I can ask an actual firm that does this for a living,
Yeah, the
and they're
niche.
literally doing it, because that could look different in the state of Nevada versus someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
So I will use AI to educate myself, but the vast majority of the time is I'll actually go to other people that are doing it too,
Yeah.
because they're the ones that are driving that change. And ChatGPT or Grok or Claude, they just go through the internet to extract that information to then present it.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual shifters are the individuals.
Yeah,
They're the businesses.
and some
Yes.
of the information is not even on the in the internet for them to AI to
Yeah,
go there.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
so
I think that's kind of one of the things with like education too, is like, when someone's going into business school now and what they're learning now, the curriculum that was approved for, let's just say 2025,
mm-hmm.
like, do you really think it's going to be as useful
when
in a
they when
year
yeah when they
with
graduate,
like business, how fast it's moving, how
right?
fast it's
Exactly.
changing?
Yeah.
It's probably what they learned is going to be, it's going to be effective to a degree, but schools systems, they change a lot of their curriculum based off what's going on in the market. That's why, like, if you get an MBA in the 1950s versus today, the things that they're going to cover are wildly
Way.
different,
Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But that's in a response to what's going on in the market,
Mm-hmm.
not not that the universities are driving that change. It's more what's going on in the
Yeah,
market, what's being innovated in the market.
and
And I
that's
think
yeah.
ChatGPT has like that similar effect. They're a reaction. They pull from what's going on live in the market.
Okay. And I guess that's how like some like real estate agents they get education, re-education to be able to learn the new things coming up, because
Yeah.
everything they learned before is like it's
Could be,
obsolete. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
obsolete already.
I mean,
So
there's definitely some things that are like tried and true with like real estate, for example. It's very, very true. Um, but I would say like there's ways of kind of getting new clients today than what it was before in real estate. Like if you're a real estate agent,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
like having a strong social media presence today and having people come to you
Mm-hmm.
versus 20 years ago when it was like flyers and mailers and door
Yeah.
knocking
And
and
open houses.
open houses
Yeah.
and like word of mouth and dinners. Now it's like that's not as effective. So
Yeah.
it just
It just
depends on who
depends.
you
Yeah.
ask
You
and
just have
also your
to
skill level. Yeah.
you just have to adapt with the market and things that you go through. So
Mhm.
yeah. I know you shared with me that video you have with Chris Voss. Has that
Yeah.
helped accelerate your business to help put yourself out there even more from that?
Well, it was such a fun experience doing something with Chris Voss. I really respect him a lot, and I respect him a lot in this sense. Is like when I look at kind of the top marriage books that have helped me and my wife, that I would place as number one. And I've
Never,
yeah, yeah,
never split the difference.
never split the difference.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
never split the difference. I said this, in a couple other places too, but yeah, like, so I'm very grateful for it, because one of the best relationships you're ever going to be in is obviously with your spouse. Talk about the long game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I made an oath till death do us part.
Yeah.
So I made a commitment to this person until I die, that I will be there through thick and thin, no matter what. I have your back. I'm not going anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I take that very seriously. And um, that book was one of the books that made that journey with that person that much easier, that much better.
Wow. Okay.
Because I mean, in that book, you're basically just trying to make sure that the other person feels heard,
Mm-hmm.
feels recognized,
Yeah.
they feel understood, they feel like it's okay to lower their guard. And even when there's a situation where that guard is high, you can deploy tactics to lower it.
Yeah.
And that's where that true relationship comes into play. And so for me, like, that was a book that was really effective. So being
Wow.
on
Yeah.
that show, That's Right, and being interviewed by him was a lot of fun. Um, because yeah, I mean, ultimately you want to like earn the respect from people that you respect, and Chris
Mm-hmm.
Voss is definitely someone that I respect. So it was a
Definitely.
lot
Yeah.
of fun. I feel like it's when people see that, I do think it does add a big level of credibility, and it's just, kudos to him. Like he's the one that I'm kind of stealing that from a little bit,
Yeah.
because he did so many amazing things with the FBI. He did so many amazing things in business. He's helped out so many folks. He's the one that pioneered a lot of
Mm-hmm.
making negotiation far more mainstream. He's got the top selling masterclass, highest viewed
Yeah.
masterclass.
Yeah.
It's actually Chris. So I loved it, and I'm just really grateful for him. Like, thank God someone like him wrote that book
Yeah.
that my wife and I both read, where we're like, this has completely flipped our relationship, and only for the better.
That's amazing. Okay. I didn't even think of it as the book as a relationship book, but that's good though.
It
That's a good,
is.
yeah.
It's 100% a relationship. You don't negotiate with a wall or with yourself.
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could. You can negotiate with yourself. There's a relationship with yourself. But yeah, I mean, like, everyone's got relationships. So how do you get the most out of it
Mm-hmm.
for both of them?
Yeah, that's amazing. And I know recently also you were part of an event, the A-list event. Like,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
how was that experience for you? Like, what was your takeaways and your the things that you when you were at the event? Like, what were your goals to going there? What was your like things that you went there and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is a truly different
Well, it
thing.
was it, it was a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
and a lot of credit to Coach Chris Patterson for putting everything together, as well as Amber Ibarra, Jeremiah Sullivan. We had some really great speakers come out, and one of the keynote was John Gordon, and talk about a guy that's so polished, so clean, very passionate, really just a pro. John Gordon is a fucking pro. He is really, really good,
Mm-hmm.
and he can just sling it for like an hour, just like straight. And it reminds me a lot of kind of one of the top stand-up comedians, where you could throw him in front of a crowd,
Yeah.
and they could just develop material on the spot, and it just murders. It does so good.
Wow. Yeah.
And so John, I went up on stage, and then it was Coach Chris Patterson, who's a fantastic, really polished speaker, and then John Gordon, who's a world-renowned speaker too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really humbling for me to open up for them, being that
Wow.
I haven't been on stage in like over 2 years, and that particular presentation was the first time I was actually doing it.
Wow.
So I was really happy that a lot of people said that like I was their favorite. And so I went in just wanting to provide value and really peel back the curtain of what goes on with business owners today. I threw out a lot of stats at the audience that really twisted the knife. You could tell people were sitting in there just like, I
Oh,
don't like this because everything you're talking about is me.
yeah.
And but then also giving them a handful of tools and approaches to kind of overcome some of the stats that I was sharing. And so I liked it in for two reasons. One is that it really told me like I was really avoiding doing a lot of speaking. I was like, it's not me.
But you have a TV show.
Yeah, but I was doing things like behind the camera.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So you have like Michelle Delamore. So with 60 Day Hustle, like Michelle Delamore, she's
Wow.
front and center because she's an absolute gem. She's also someone that's such a good pro, energy woman, great generator of energy, and so she's front and center in that show with all the other alongside Rudy Marr, and then all the other guest judges. Like that's that. What I did for that show is like not in front of the camera,
Ah, okay.
but I feel like going to that, speaking at that event, if that's the thing that I took away is like I need to be more on stages. I need to do more things there, and I need to get over it because I was always like, nah, it's not for me. Get someone else to do it, and so that's very much on the docket now is like getting more on
Wow,
stages.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. And what's on the pipeline for you from the stages point of view, speaking on stage?
I just recently did one for this investor group up in Alaska. So when I was up there, there's this. When I was in Anchorage, Alaska, I did a talk for an investment group out there. And what's next is putting up an event here in Vegas where we're going to be bringing in doctors. So a lot of the talk that I did is going to be a little bit more curated for doctors or clinic managers, people that are going through the struggle of what we just mentioned earlier.
Wow, okay, that's
So
cool.
that's next, actually here locally, and we're just looking at potential venues and also collaborators on that one, people that could also come up on stage and talk about maybe mindset or running CRMs or sales,
Yeah,
and then we come on. So that's what's next is I think actually me putting on my own event and then doing it that way first.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, That's amazing, man. That's so I'm
It's gonna be fun. It should
yeah.
be fun, right?
I can't wait for that one. It's just to see your growth
I'll
in that
invite
one.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You'll be
that's an
coming on.
amazing growth, and the from where you were and all of a sudden to like where you are right now. That's truly amazing, and it's like just it's just tremendous, like your growth and
It doesn't always feel like it when you're in it, right? Like when you're kind of in, it's like when you look back, you're like, oh wow, I did go through that. I did go through
yeah,
this. I did help this person. I did build this relationship. And it is like those pinch me moments
yeah,
where you're like, oh man, I can't believe I did that.
and
But in the
you
moment, you're
yeah.
just like, you just do it. Yeah.
That's amazing though. So I guess the theme today is just like just do it, just focus and just be able to be a person that able can, unpack everything and listen and just see how you can provide value here, provide value here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Lean in into the things that give you fulfillment. That's a big one.
Okay.
I I can't tell you how many organizations really pummel you into doing something only for money. Don't be so wealthy or so rich that all you have is money. That's not right. There's a lot of people that I know that are major influencers that I know for a fact, and I know this because I have relationships with people inside of their organization that talk about it, where I just have kind of a behind the scenes
Yeah.
right contact.
You're just listening to things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's the public facing thing, and then there's like, oh, I actually know an executive in your business
Mm-hmm.
that's saying the complete fucking
Yeah.
opposite, dude. Yeah, you are flat broke, but you're coming across as this. And the whole reason why I'm saying that is because like you people tend to compare themselves quite a bit. People tend to listen to folks that maybe don't have what you think they have, that they're wealthy in a certain way. They're showing off cars, they're showing off trips, they're showing off women, they're showing off
Oh,
shoes
that's the
and
one in
fashion.
Instagram. Those people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see it in all kinds of platforms. And so when I'm saying like, don't be so wealthy that all you have is money, because wealth is different, right? I know of some entrepreneurs where they're going on like their second divorce. They have multiple baby mamas. Yeah, you have some money, but your last divorce fleeced you
Mm-hmm.
a ton of cash,
Yeah.
and you're trying to put on this image of everything is okay, that you're
But
this Christian and you're doing all this, and it's like, dude, you are telegraphing so much of how much you're in pain. And
okay.
like, I may not have as much money as maybe this person does. I have a great relationship with my spouse. I have a great relation with my kids. I'm around my kids. You're not around your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're not around your kids. Like, do you have a wife? You made an oath too, and now you're in this divorce and
Yeah.
all that. Like, I wonder. Okay, cool. So I just
I guess it's
I
just a different fulfillment for them. For you, it's different. For them, it's a different fulfillment. Like like what you
yeah,
said earlier.
it's like, no, finding that fulfillment. Like,
Yeah.
you want to find that fulfillment and make sure that you're prioritizing things in the right way. Sometimes people are chasing just after money, 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 and then once they get that goal, it's like, all right, what's next? It's like more money,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
I see what you're saying.
The fulfillment is like the thing that you enjoy, that fills up your soul, that fills up your spirit, that makes you feel like you are purposeful in life, that you feel great, you have a successful state of mind, and making sure that you have that every day, not that you're chasing that every day.
Okay.
The chase is something in which you accomplish. It's an objective, it's a mission goal. Totally, let's go after that,
Yeah.
but don't feel like you're unsuccessful along the way. The person that is the most famous that kind of talks about it in a different way is probably Kobe Bryant, right?
Okay.
Yes, the goal is championships, but for him, success is showing up and giving everything you have in your training, in your preparation, in your execution, in your devotion to being an ultimate basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to come, a byproduct of that,
It's
is those five
yeah.
championship rings.
Right.
Yes, yes. And I think if more business owners adopted something like that, they would have more fulfillment. There'll be less suicides. There'll be less depression. There'll be less anxiety. There'll be less marital problems. There'll be less addictions, because those things can really seep into your life if you're doing it this other way versus this way.
Wow.
So
That's
so
amazing. Yeah.
so finding your fulfillment is like, that's actually a journey, because you almost have to deconstruct what you find value in life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get that maybe there's other people that make way more money than I do. Of course, there's always going to be a bigger fish. But the things that matter to me, my relationship with my spirit, my relationship with myself, my kids, my wife, my
Mm-hmm.
family, I have those things 10 out of 10. And if so, and I wouldn't trade places with that person. It's like
Amazing.
you have all this stuff, but oh my God, the stress that I can see on your face
Uh-huh.
because of the embarrassment of the divorce, the the separation, or the fallout with like a business partner,
Yeah.
the indictments that you may have had because of this or that or whatever. Like I would rather have what I have, and it's because I'm prioritizing these things. And I recommend when I'm working with someone, let's look at the things that actually matter to you
Mm-hmm.
when we really peel back,
Yeah.
what it is. And it could very well be money, but that I find that to be very rare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. How can people bring value to you or reach out to you if they want to get coaching or they want to learn more about the things that you're doing and and just bring value to you? How can people reach out to you?
To bring value to me, if
Yeah.
I want to flip it and kind of bring value to them, I really like helping people. If someone wants to bring value over to me, I would say it goes back to what I said maybe a couple of minutes ago. Is like there's speaking engagements. If there's something where you would like me to be a part of a panel or a stage and just pour into a crowd and discuss what that opportunity might look like, that would be a really great thing. But ultimately, I want to pour into other people. I want to make sure that they're okay, that they have resources and tools to get themselves to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So people can reach out to me on like Instagrams, which is at only Antonio Garcia. Or I have my website, www.antoniogarcia.io, and I
Mm-hmm.
have all my stuff there.
Okay.
And that's probably the best way to get in contact with me.
Awesome. Only Antonio Garcia on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you the only one there?
I'll be the only one. I was like, it's like OnlyFans, but I only maybe to get it. Yeah. So I was trying to think of all kinds of stuff. Like, maybe only Antonio Garcia. That's
That's
probably
pretty
good.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
only. Yeah. Is there another Antonio Garcia that you checked already?
Oh, there's billions. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
saying like,
It's like
is
John
there another
Smith.
John Smith
Yeah.
out there? Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Antonio Garcia. So I was like, maybe I should change my name to Ace or something,
Yes, yeah, okay,
something
like what
super
you're talking
cool.
about. Yeah, you should. Yeah, maybe think something cool. Ask
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
yeah, like the Mexican Optimus Prime or
Yeah,
some ridiculous
yeah.
shit. Yeah,
You probably like no, like AI will probably give you something interesting
yeah,
with a different avatar too.
yeah. They'll call me like the landscaper.
The lens.
Yeah, that's like thanks, man. It's the most racist thing, but whatever. I'll take it.
Okay,
I'll run with it.
awesome. Well, thank you so much again today, Antonio.
Mhm.
Everything you're saying was so profound today, and everything you're doing that's crazy. And hopefully, people can reach out to you and provide value and lead with value, and hopefully be able to help them as well and provide value back to them. So,
Thank you, man. I appreciate
thank
it.
you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
Yeah, thank you so
Absolutely.
much for your time.